Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. In Iran, if you're listening, if you could help find Donald Trump's hacked emails and release them to the public in the United States of America, I'm sure you will be greatly celebrated. Okay, what am I talking about? Politico first reported Saturday, I'm assuming August 10th, that it started receiving emails on July 22nd from an anonymous account. The source was an AOL email account identified as Robert, and it passed along what appeared to be a research dossier that the Trump campaign had apparently done on the Republican vice presidential nominee, J.D. Vance. The document was dated February 23rd, almost 5 months before Trump had selected Vance as his running mate. The Trump campaign basically said that Iran hacked into their systems. Microsoft did an investigation, and they said recent activity suggests the Iranian regime, along with the Kremlin, may be equally engaged in the election 2024 in trying to influence it. But they said there's a difference between the way Russia does it and the way Iran does it. In that report, Microsoft stated that foreign malign influence concerning the 2024 U.S. elections started off slowly, but it's picked up the pace over the last 6 months, due initially to Russian operations, but more recently to Iranian. The analysis continued. Iranian cyber-enabled influence operations have been a consistent feature of at least the last 3 U.S. elections. Iran's operations have been notable and distinguishable from Russia's for appearing later in the election season and employing cyber attacks more geared towards election conduct than swaying voters. So what they're saying is Russia releases a salacious material designed to get voters to be angry or to be discouraged and to influence turnout, whereas Iran just stirs the shit. Best way to put it. It appears that Iran got access to a campaign advisor to the Trump campaign. That email was compromised. Basically, they knew the password, so they logged in and they sent a phishing email, an email with a hyperlink to it, to other members of the Trump campaign. And because it came from somebody that they recognized, this compromised account, they clicked on the link, and that allowed them to direct traffic. Basically, I think it gave them access to. They could put malware in there and give them access to the accounts. All right, sorry, long intro. Long and short of it. Back to my original intro. No. Will Iran leak more information? And will this leaked information impact the election? Now, they've already started sending stuff to news media, so it gives the news media an opportunity to, get the dirt, like in this case on J.D. Vance. Politico, about 3 weeks ago, got to see the dossier on J.D. Vance, which means that, let's say J.D. Vance, there's concern about his affection towards couches, say, for instance. Maybe he's more of a lazy boy guy than a Serta guy, whatever. There could be some investigative journalism that comes through that, through, vetting that was done by the Trump campaign. And then if reporters get involved in there, they can just release that out to the public. And again, this just causes problems. You can imagine Iran is not a real fan of Donald Trump, and they want to torpedo his campaign because he keeps, killed people on Iranian soil, and he was causing problems for Iran in general. And payback is always on the table. So let's look at the energy around the Iranian hacking of the Trump emails. Okay, entertainment purposes only. Foundation of the reading is the Page of Cups. Well, look at what we have here. Funny, what's in the cup? fish. It's a phishing. So was Iran behind? I believe Microsoft. Iran was behind this phishing thing. And here they go. They send out the phishing email and people click on the links and let's see what we get. And you never know what you're going to get. Quoting Forrest Gump, life is a box of chocolates and you just don't know. Underneath it all, they got pages here. Underneath it all, there's going to be information that they've obtained from this hacking. Maybe a lot of it hasn't been acted on. It may not be the real barn burner stuff, but they do have information that can be shared. In the past, you got the 5 of coins. Now, is this way? I'm trying to decide where I want to go. Is this Iran feeling, left out of the international community? Is this the vulnerable account that Iran got into? Is this the information that's going to leave people out in the cold that they leak out there? I think this is more Iran. This is like their hacking attempt, trying to get inside the building. Hey, we're friends of yours. We're cold. Can you let us in? And then they open the door, the link, to let them in. And once they're in, they've got the goods. They can now go shopping. Current situation is the Queen of Pentacles. And shopping they did. They've got some nuggets. And now it's just a matter of timing. And I'm wondering who they've released these nuggets to. Again, we know that Politico got some on J.D. Vance. So I think they've been offering stuff. Underneath here, they've got stuff to offer. And now it's waiting for this information to mature and finding the right time to release it. This is the type of thing that could lead to an October surprise. That's where I'm going with this. Overarching energy is the Hermit. They're not going to just sit on this and blackmail people. They want this information to get out, which is why they sent it to reporters. Because if you give that to reporters, the reporters may question the source, but if they do some digging and they find stuff in there, the original source that point them in the right direction is important, but it's the stuff that they find out and can connect is also important, and maybe more important. And it'll probably get reported on. The lesson to be learned, Ten of Swords. Kind of like, you messed with Iran, and they have skullduggery ways to get and hack into your system. And once they're in and they start letting stuff out and people find out, not any one thing they're going to release is going to be devastating on its own, but collectively it's going to really cause problems for the Trump campaign. Outcome is justice. This is payback. Iran is going to contribute to Donald Trump's downfall. Plain and simple. And in their point of view, he deserves it. You're the one, you started messing with us, and now we're messing with you. Now, mind you, this isn't Iran hacking into voting machines and changing votes and stuff like that. Are they spreading disinformation? There's no indication of that. It looks like they have curated, there's the word of the day, curated the better parts of the information that they've sifted through and are going to let that information out to people that will do the most damage with it if they follow up on it. Just like those 30,000 emails of Hillary's, Right after Trump said that, Russia began a hacking of the DNC servers. And they hacked the DNC servers and the RNC servers, and they released the information from the DNC servers, and they never released the information from the RNC. Carrot meets stick. So the Democrats got embarrassed, and they had their campaigns impacted by it, and the Republicans, they had a stick over them at that point. Do what we say, or else we're going to release this information. Then throw in some money funneled through the NRA, and there's your carrot. If you play ball with us, you get this NRA money. You mess with us, we bring out the stick. Your choice. Go to every leader in the Republican Party and the candidates running that they had dirt on, and you got a carrot stick approach. It's funny how Putin has so much influence over the House members, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Okay. How will this information from Iran impact the election? It looks like it's going to be detrimental to Trump, but let's see. What type of stuff are they going to release? Let's get a general read on the data that's going to be released here. The Fool card. Okay. Major Arcana. New starts. Foolish things that they've done. Mistakes that they've made. Cross the Moon card again. And the Page of Pentacles again. These two cards are identical. In the same spots. They've got the information. Timing. I don't think the Republicans really understand what Iran got out of this. But Iran knows, and they're going to start. And they're already started. They've already started the process. Seven of Wands, things moving quickly. It's also broadcasting over air. Expect that news agencies and other agencies have received emails with information and tips and files and things along those lines. Iran is moving down with its plan. It's got a plan in place, and they're going to move on with it. How is this going to impact things? Again, I think people that have done foolish things that are hidden are going to be revealed. And again, mind you, this isn't the RNC. This is the Trump campaign. So you can imagine the amount of illicit activities that could probably be going on with the people that would normally gravitate towards Trump. Current situation is the Queen of Cups. They might have a lid on it right now, but I expect the lid could be blown off at any time. It's almost, this is like stepping on a landmine. You don't know where the landmines are, and as you move through there, you don't know anything, but when it happens, it's going to happen quickly. They're waiting. A lesson to be learned. 2 Wands. You don't know when things are going to drop, and you don't know which direction these things are going to come from. Iran they have a plan in place, and they're just waiting. They're waiting for the right moment. Out comes the 5 of Cups. Disappointment, loss. This may not be the devastating loss that we might think it could be, but it's definitely not helping. It will cost people reputations. Maybe some marriages might break up. It could spurn on other investigations. I think some people will lose elections, and they will lose support. And, again, when you got talking about the Trump campaign and things hacking in there, how do you trust them with any more data? Because what if that data gets hacked? You don't know what's going on, which makes it difficult to plan your next move. I guess what I'm saying is you have to know what's in your server that got hacked so you could do damage control. And there's probably so much stuff in there that they can't do all the damage control that they would want. How many emails would you have to go through? How many nefarious plots? And that goes above and beyond all the vetting and stuff like that that's going on. So it looks like it's detrimental to Trump in his campaign. It looks like it's detrimental to specific people in that campaign. What might be one of the biggest the biggest embarrassing things that's released from this little four-carder. Let's see if I can tune in to something like that. Maybe something that involves Trump. If there's anything that involves Trump, what's going to be the most damaging thing they release on Donald Trump? King of Cups. Maybe stuff he said about Biden, or things about Biden, or his own emotional health here. The Empress, the Four of Cups. There's the Moon card again, and the Ten of Wands. It could be stuff that talks about Trump's emotional immaturity. It could be stuff that talks about. I just want to say it's going to be Biden related. You can imagine a lot of the Trump emails are going to be about attacks on Biden and things that made things difficult on Biden. It would be like making up stories, that running ideas past what lies can we tell about Biden, about how he didn't care for how he didn't take care of things. Concocting plots, as it were. Now, here's a really scary thought. Here's an extremely scary thought. You remember how right after the Trump shooting, Iran was accused of trying to, sending over an assassin to assassinate Trump. I think that person got arrested. Right? What if, there's a plot to have Trump shot and generate a lot of sympathy for him, and they discussed how they were recruiting this young man to do the unthinkable to help Trump's campaign? That could be, I'm not saying that's what it is, and I'm not saying that that Matthew Crooks was hired to create a false flag situation. But if he was, and it was discussed in those emails, then, there could be a trail that, that could be linked to the Department of Justice, or to reporters who follow up on things, and it leads to investigational leads. Something along those lines. But it sounds like Iran's more focused on the political machinations rather than the salacious details. So maybe on that latter example, that would be something the Russians would do rather than the Iranians. But maybe it's just they're going to release their strategy on getting rid of Biden. It's going to be something along those lines. Tarot isn't always an exact science. Sorry, folks. And for those who just barfed like, it's not a science at all. Well, yeah, okay, that's fine. It's a figure of speech. Will this contribute to Trump not being reelected? Page of Pentacles just popped up. I'll just leave that out there. Remember those little nuggets? I think that basically that's the goal. Here's another one that's popping up. As these cards come flying up here. So signifiers, I got to throw a third one. That's what we're looking for. We went looking through all the information to find the good pieces, and now we're offering up the good pieces. Oh, King of Cups. Interesting. So remember I was asking, what it is. Maybe that King of Cups isn't Biden at all. Maybe this is about Trump and his emotional well-being. Ooh, that would suck. Okay, will this impact Trump? It could be Biden. We'll do like a four-carder here. So, this is just basically saying, we had the we curated the information, we offered it up, and it's impacting the King of Cups, either the Joe Bidens of the world or the emotionally immature Donald Trump. They're working on it right now. Things are going to drive forward. I was asking if it was going to impact Trump. I think it does. There's a detoxification. I think what it is, it's how you dispense this information out to get the bang for the buck. it's going forward. It's going to impact the campaign. Not a huge amount, but it's going to be a slow grind because information is just going to keep coming out and keep coming out and keep coming out. And maybe, again, it could cause people to resign. It could cause people to leave the Trump campaign. It can cause people to not want to vote for Trump. Because maybe it goes through like, when Trump denies knowing about Project 2025. They could release emails showing that he was supporting Project 2025 the whole time. That'll drive away women voters and young people because, Trump's caught out in a lie. They could, release talking points that the Trump campaign has that they had towards things and why they came up with those talking points. Yeah, this isn't this is not like whack-a-mole. This is not a giant mallet that's going to come crashing down and crush candidate Trump on the head. But it is like whack-a-mole because, the information pops up, and as the Republicans try and douse it, it ducks down, and then another one pops up. So it's just popping up all over the place. And I just don't think they can keep up with it. So it's just what it's going to be like. It's just going to be one embarrassment after another, after another, after another, after another. And, the damage control that's going to require the Trump campaign to do is going to swamp them. They'll be spending so much time doing damage control that they can't actually do the jobs that they're supposed to be doing. Something like that. Okay? So... Lots of people don't want Trump to be the president of the United States. Not just Americans. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.